See if we're back online. Okay. All right, let's see where we're at with that. Okay, so I am back here, okay? Christian, hey, man. So, yeah, anybody that's checking this out, the whole point here is I'm going to try to migrate you guys over to my YouTube channel where I'm live. I'm testing some higher resolution live streaming. I'll be able to look in the comments there. I'm going to stay here in the control room with you guys for just a bit, but if you go to YouTube, the link in my bio to my channel, I'm live right now with better audio, all this stuff. I'm going to take you guys just kind of on a catch up on what I've been up to, test out some of the tech here. I've got some music I can play, some stuff I've been working on, and I'm going to do some drum maintenance once we get out there. So I'm just going to keep an eye to see if we're getting any people on the YouTube stream. And once I see that, I'm going to jump over there. So that's where you're going to find me. Right now, the stream is from my control room camera, kind of looking the other way, and then out in the live room. So I'll take you guys out around, show you kind of what's up out there if you stick around, right? Okay, I'm gonna flip the camera around. Okay, so out here, if you hang with me and jump over to the YouTube channel, I'm gonna sit over there and do some maintenance on these old Ludwigs here. I'm actually gonna put the new Pearl R2 Air system on there. So, jump over to that YouTube channel if you're seeing this and you're not busy. I know it's a Friday night, but whoever decides to come over, it'd be great. I've got you. I'm going to have you right here. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and get this happening on my. So there's the keyboard station in the studio. Let's see. Was that the latest? Check my email again. Oh yeah, that's the new one. Here we go. There we are. All right, now I got you guys here. Where's my comments? Okay, we got 5 people in. Now how can I see the comments? Come on now. Okay, there we go. Okay, I'm seeing we got a few people here. Fantastic. So we're gonna, I'm gonna stay with Instagram for a minute, just to try to round as many people as I can through this over to there. And then those of you who are waiting patiently on the YouTube channel, we'll dive in just a few more minutes. And, I can take all kinds of questions, catch you guys up on the latest. We can talk Toto up and coming. We've released we've got a run through Mexico and South America, and then a New Year's Eve, basically, or on the 30th, we're playing down in Vegas. And so, anybody here, jump over to the link in my bio, jump over to my YouTube channel, and I'm going to continue from there. Like I said, I'm going to hang in here for a minute. I guess while we're here, I can just give you a look around my control room. What's up? Good to see people here, But yeah, we want to get over to that YouTube channel is the idea. But yeah, here is my laboratory, right? I like to work in the analog realm as much as I can still. Will Toto play new songs on the new tour? Yeah, we're gonna work up a whole bunch of alternates for the next set. So that's a new set list on the way. So yeah, we're looking forward to getting back out. Here's a look around my room, make you guys hopefully not too dizzy there. I didn't realize. So yeah, check this out. That's my SSL 4000. A bunch of outboard digital effects, these things. But yeah, again, if you're just jumping on here, the idea here is to get you over to my YouTube channel where the link is in my bio, and I'm going to go through do some drum maintenance and take questions and stuff. New studio album for Toto. I can't really speak to that So where are we in the Philippines on this tour? Not yet. We just had a great time through there. Let's see. Hope Toto can play endless. Um, yeah, there's going to be some new songs for sure. I can guarantee you guys that coming for next year. Um, yeah, so we're excited about that. And yeah, if you're just getting on here, like I say, check my link in my bio, right? Right now, at the same time, there's a live feed coming out of my YouTube channel. I'm going to switch cameras over there. We can go through some things in here in the control room. I'm going to, like I say, I'm going to do a little maintenance on this old set of Ludwigs out there, kind of catch you guys up to speed. And basically, you guys are going to help me beta test the new tech. I got some great new stuff from Audio Technica to make this thing work better. Let's see. New managers can spread. Yeah. See. Okay. So we got some people already over to the YouTube channel. So that's great. Hello from Scotland again. So thanks for everybody that's jumping over to the YouTube channel. I'm going to be posting and making more content for that channel, but I'll also go live from time to time like this, so we can do real-time comments and some Q&A. So that's over on the YouTube channel. Everybody that's waiting over there, I will be there. I guess we can do this way because I got both cameras going for right now. So yeah, so on Instagram, check out the link in my bio and jump over to the YouTube channel if you haven't already. I'm going to go out into the room and do some, well, we can do a lot of things the way I'm set up. We can even get into some playing, do some question and answer. And basically, this is going to be a run through for me trying out some of this tech I've been working on all day, and we can catch up on what's upcoming, what's in the works, and do some question and answer with you guys in the YouTube chat. So we got 11 people over there right now. Let's see if we can get more happening. And this camera, when I jump off here, this camera is going to become my camera out there in the room. So if you're just getting on this, man, great to see people here. Hello in Poland. Boy, it's late. It's late where you are. If you check out the link in my bio, right? Check the link in my bio here on my Instagram page, and you can jump straight to my YouTube channel where this same feed is going out, right? Here from my studio, and I'm gonna go out into the big room and do some maintenance on some drums and do some Q&A, do some playing. So let's see if Rick Freeman, hey, met you after the. Okay, yeah, in Charlotte a couple of years ago. We had a good chat and some dinner backstage. Right on, it was Olive Garden. That's exactly right. I remember that very well. Yeah, so good to see you here. Yeah, we're up to 17 people on YouTube, so I appreciate you guys hanging in there on YouTube. I'm going to read these comments and take any questions and respond as I can here, because I want to get as many people here from Instagram to jump over there, and then we will, we'll get into some things in the room. I'm going to do some drum maintenance. I'll talk you through what I'm doing on this old Ludwig kit, and then I'm going to make some content from there. I can play you some things back from the control room. I've got kind of something up here that I recently recorded and mixed for an artist. You get a real good look inside my drum sounds. We play some of that back. But yeah, you want to get over to the YouTube channel for that, because at the YouTube channel, we've got the full bandwidth audio from my console here. So you're going to hear what's coming out of my studio. Get in the big room. We can do some Q&A out there. So yeah, hang tight with me, the folks that are already over here on YouTube. We will we'll get in some Q&A, and I'll talk you through what I'm working on, this old mid-60s Ludwig kit. So if you're here live on Instagram, the whole idea is to get those of you who are not in the middle of something else, jump over to the link in my bio and check out my YouTube channel where this same feed is going out. And yeah, so in not too long here. Hey, Tan. Hey, man. Hey, go to my link in my bio, Tan Boone. Go over there and hit that link in my bio. I'm going live on my YouTube channel. I'm going to do some work on my drums, old Ludwig kit, and thank you, Keys Poroto. I can't see. I need some glasses right now, but thank you for that. We have a lot of fun. That's Sean McGee. Get over here, man. You know where I am. You know how to find me. So yeah, if you're here, jump over to my YouTube channel. I'm going to jump out in the room, do some maintenance modifications on this old Ludwig kit, make it a little more playable, and we can talk about what that process is and talk about those old drums. You know, sort of the old versus new approach. And yeah, so if you're seeing this this video on a delay or anything, that's about it. I'm on Instagram here. I'm going to run out to the big room. If you're checking it out here, check the link in my bio. Head over to my YouTube channel, and we're gonna pick it up over there. And I'm gonna get into doing some work on my drums and see who shows up, and be watching for some comments and be able to take some Q&A over there. All right, so yeah, check it out. Anybody that comes over there, you're helping me do some beta test on a bunch of tech work I did today to get my live stream back up and working. So yeah, we'll get into something over there. Like I say, the way it's set up, I can even get over to my drums and do some playing from the kit. If you guys have questions, it's going to be, hey, in Argentina, love it. Yeah, check the link in my bio. I'm live on YouTube right now. And yeah, I'm going to head out to the room. Thanks for you, those of you who have shown up here on the Instagram feed. And I'm going to get to it. And this is kind of a trial run, if you will, with some of the new, hey, Brazil, yeah, some of the new tech I've been working out today. So if you're here catching this, jump over to my YouTube channel. I'm going to go out to the main room, and we can have some discussion out there. Hey, Copenhagen, I love it. You know it. Right on, Christian. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to run out there to the main room. If you guys are catching this, link in my bio will take you to the YouTube channel where this is live, and we can get into more detail that way. All right. Check you later. All right, people, I'm moving out to the drums. Hang on one quick second. Who we got? Little Sister to the first new concert, Glasgow. Okay. Oh yeah, Angel Don't Cry, right? That's a fun one to have in there. So yeah, I'm gonna make this little post. YouTube now. Link. Let's see, 10, 25. 9:50 Central. Link in bio. Okay. I'm going to switch this camera over, back over to the other mode that we need. Let's see if YouTube is rocking. Bear with me. It's like a high tech here. We're going to get over to the YouTube channel now. Get this camera back up. So let's see. We're going to want that way. And then let's see. We'll switch in Wirecast to this other camera. Boom. Okay. And now we're headed out to the other room. Okay. And I'll see you guys in the YouTube chat now from over here. So Yeah. Here we are in the main room now. I'm going to grab a couple of tools, and I'll be right over there. Yep. I'm here grabbing a blade. I think I need to cut into something here. Okay, but yeah, we're definitely, this is a test run live. I'm going to be putting some more content up here. So here we go. Let's see where we are in the, all right, love from Idaho. What was your first reaction when Dennis Atlas sang Fergie's lead vocal part? It was great. Yeah, Dennis has so much energy. You know, he's been such a great addition to the band, especially in that he's able to sing those Fergie parts. You know, so now we're able to play some of these songs in the catalog that we've never really been able to play before because they were so kind of specific to that. So it opens a lot of possibilities. I know there's some fun things coming next year. So yeah, things are really good with the band. It's great to have Dennis on. I know he's done his, hey, yeah. So thanks. Yeah, thank you. The room here, I built with my friend Chad Dickinson. I designed everything myself. Scratch built it. From the experience that I had working in studios all those years. If you guys don't know, I'm a studio rat. You know, I grew up in the studio. I was very lucky that way. So yeah, the room here is I love it. I started this place in 2007. Cannot believe this place has been online for 16 years now, going on 17. It's just nuts. But yeah, I mean, I can you know, modestly say, humbly say that I hit a home run. This place really does sound amazing. So yeah, so I'm going to get into this while you guys are showing up. And yeah, brick and stone floor, Kai. That was a conscious decision. I had this room was built so. It wasn't like, the way I worked on this place was I built it in stages, so I was constantly listening and adding, you know, design concepts to the room as we went. And one of the last things that really affected a choice about the room, when you see the concrete, the building here, previous to being a studio, there was a different building on this foundation. And it was a smaller metal, like workshop, but it had this concrete. I went out to my friend Mike McDonald's. He had a lake house out here, and it just had all the floor polished concrete in his garage. And I walked in that room, and it sounded amazing, right? And I was like, okay, well, I'm going to leave part of this floor in this room that way. So the other side of the room where the drums are is a floated, you know, basically a riser, which does great for low frequency coupling and helps the drums resonate up there. But then on this side of the room, if I want to roll these carpets up, if I have a string session in here, I do all kinds of stuff in here. It gives me a lot of acoustic options, but the room has a very unique signature about it. And yeah, so a lot of these things I learned on the fly. But it was because I was building the room in real time and listening and making adjustments. So it's really something I'm proud of, and not just proud of, I love it. It's just such a, if you ever get a chance to come here and play drums and hear the drums in this room, it's remarkable. I had a horn session in here the other day, and there was a guy playing clarinet, and this always happens when people come to this room. He took his headphones off and he goes, hey, listen, can I come practice after work in here? Because they just love to hear instruments in this room. It's really special that way. So let's see, talk about experiences using innovative percussion sticks and what made them stand out to you. Any models you would recommend that would be similar to VF SD4 Combo Maple? And then dude, Christian, your drums is on this. Oh, Steve Porcaro's record. Thank you so much. That was a lot of fun. I did a lot of tracks for Steve, and we had a good time working on that stuff together. So yeah, thank you for that. I'm really proud of that stuff too, and I'm happy for Steve getting all that music out there. He worked really hard on that. So let's see. The innovative thing about my sticks. Okay, let me grab a pair. Okay. You guys may not be aware, but if I'm in the camera right, I do have my own stick. I haven't done a lot of promotion for these, but yeah, my stick, and I'm not sure about the models you're asking about, but I can tell you about what I did with mine. Most of the wood, almost all of the wood being used in drumsticks is all this fast growth stuff. So basically the weight and density of the wood compared to what I grew up playing, which I used just an 8A for years and years, it got really light, like, measurably light, like 20% lighter than a stick used to be. And what I would have happen is I would feel like the stick wouldn't stay down. It was just felt like air in my hand. And so my stick is designed, it's 3/16 of an inch longer, and in the throat here, or in the taper of the stick, there's more mass down to the end, and all that is doing is basically changing the fulcrum position to make the stick feel basically like it weighs a bit more than it does. And they actually do have some powerful tone to them. If you have in your mind what an 8A sounds like, this does not sound like that. And they turned out unique, and I've gotten so used to playing them over the last few years that I love it. I mean, I'm a pretty serious creature of habit, so when I get into something, that's just what I play. It's kind of I want a consistency between me and the drums, and then the rest is for me to figure out. So that's one thing with Innovative. For sure, consistency with their sticks was a huge issue for me. So they're the best that I've found, and I've been happy to be there for this entire time. So let's see what else we got. Yeah, the concrete. Yep. Oh, thanks, Aubrey. Yep. Hey, what's up, Paul? Hey, man, thanks for jumping in here. And Jay, everything is good, man. I'm back to working in the studio in the interim, and I'm really kicking a lot of things off here. So I have my website's finally up. It's a simple thing. It's a great way to kind of see what I'm up to and contact me there. So shannonforrest.com. That's up online. I'm about to launch a video that I made that was a live recording video, basically a complete deep dive. You get to see me hear a song for the first time and go through it with you, and basically I go real thoroughly into all the reasoning behind the decisions I'm making, and everything from what I'm playing down to tone and all these things. It's about a 2-hour video. I'm really proud of how it turned out. That's going to be coming up. I'm trying to get it launched this week, possibly Sunday. So there's that. Hey, Tiago from Brazil, how's it going? Thanks for showing up here. Let's see. Nowadays, it's common to quantize the drums. What do you think about it, and what advice would you give to be a good studio drummer? That's a great question, Rodrigo. I don't do many sessions anymore. I'm still available for hire, but I changed the focus of my career because I hate quantized music. It's one thing if it's electronic music and purposefully quantized. That's fine. I don't throw one thing out. It's all about creative choices. But I worked really hard as one of my skill sets to be in complete control of my time and be able to replicate that down to the point where I can phase cancel myself. You don't need time to be any more accurate than that. And when people take it and they put it on a grid, you've just lost me. So I think the same thing that always applied, because at some point, creating a space for yourself as a working drummer is going to come down to playing with people at some point. And the more things change, the more the technology is sort of introducing all these other ways to create music. The one thing that's going to be important for us to all pursue is maintaining that ability to play time and play in a social environment with other musicians. So working on your time in the traditional sense in the same way that I would have, which is play along with great records, playing with a click track and learning that is something of sort of a necessary value, but it doesn't really teach you time in the sense of what, what's really important. You need to be able to play time in a way where your tempo doesn't move around, and that you're able to communicate that time to the rest of the musicians and keep them feeling secure and make them have better time as a result of being confident in the way that you present the time to them. So, maybe I'll make a full video about getting into that or do a whole episode here. This is going to be a combination of different things that I do with the channel. Thanks for joining in here. The drums are around the other side of this camera. If you guys have any specific questions, I didn't really have a tight agenda for coming on other than I wanted to re-engage you guys here on the channel, let you know that a lot of stuff is going to be coming, a lot of new stuff. I'm going to be more active here. I've said that before, but this is me making a big effort to get the tech together. Let's see. Hello from North Carolina. I'm a 68-year-old working drummer. Hey, man, that's fantastic, Scott. That's great. I mean, that's the thing about it, right? I mean, Steve Gadd's 80, and still, redefining what greatness looks like, So the great thing about continuing to develop and hone our craft is like, we want to be able to find those people to play with. That's what it's. That's back to the question that I was answering for Kai, So yeah, I don't like quantized music. I don't listen to it. It's just what I call it is I don't like the sound of computerized music, and that's what it is. Even if a person has played the part, some person with an editor comes in and chops it into pieces and lays it on a grid that's so mathematically accurate, it goes beyond the resolution of sequencers, MIDI sequencers that we used to think were too stiff. This goes beyond that. That sound of music made that way is it's off-putting for me. It literally it gives me a bad feeling, regardless of the composition or whatever. The sound of music like that, it feels alien to me. So I don't listen, and I don't apply any of those methods into the way I create music. So yeah, the Brady Kit was that was a great sounding set of drums. I just got to where it was too, the potential of stripping out a lug or something and ruining a drum on the road was just too much of a risk. So I am super. Hey, so Josh, that video is going to be out this week. My goal is to get it out on Sunday. It's all edited. It's all on the site, uploaded, and so it'll be available for purchase there. And like I say, I'm really proud of the way it's turned out. The video, the concept and just what it is I hear a song that I've never heard before. You'll be hearing it in the video for the first time. It was done as a live stream initially. And so it's a completely live take, off the cuff. You'll see me hear a song for the first time and then go through playing it and refining it. And I go into detail about why I stop and why I fix a part here or change or alter something that I play. So it's very, very specific into how I think and how I work. And there's definitely a style to how I choose to play fills and support a song. And that's all very well described inside this video. So if you want to get a deeper look and understanding inside what that's like from my approach, the video is really good that way. So yeah, Monday at the latest. So hey, you are very welcome. Happy to hear that it's been an influence on you guys. You were in Atlanta, great. How long does it take to get you in shape to play each night, or does it take time? Well, that's a great question, and something that I can speak to a little bit here. So as far as being in shape and practicing and developing your muscles and keeping things ready to fire the way you need, I spent so many years of my life being like a studio rat, and playing in 4-minute bursts, and then, even if I would do an occasional live gig around town or something, it wasn't like a 2-hour set, something where you have to build that sort of stamina up. And so it's a couple of things. When I do a lot of playing every day in between tours, and I run. I run 3 miles at least 4 times a week. I run 3 miles for cardio to keep myself together for touring, and especially with Toto, we pulled out more and more rock tunes. So the set list for you guys has been a higher energy, which takes a lot of breathing, and so the only way to get that is to do something that pushes you harder than the playing does. So that requires running. I become friends with Jay Weinberg, who's an amazing drummer, amazing metal drummer, amazing drummer, great dude. And I'm really just blown away by the physical capabilities of guys like him and what they do. And those guys do like 3 hours a day, right, to stay in that kind of shape to play that heavy stuff. But for me with Toto, it's about I do about an hour in between. On off days on the road, I do 3 miles on a treadmill, and that's the routine. So it takes a lot to keep that wind together. Let's see. Okay. Also, hey, right on, man. Another IPU artist, fantastic. Ashley, let's see, in Melbourne. Okay. Well, yeah. Thank you. I'm a huge Jeff Porcaro fan. I mean, everyone is, even if they don't know it. Everyone is so influenced by the way he played songs, approached things. His presence and his mark is still. You're still hearing it all the time, even with people that program drums. They're programming based on things he did. So, yeah. Let's see. How did your relationship with the guys at Toto start, Brandon? Well, I'll make this as quick as I can. Playing sessions in Nashville, I met David Hungate, who was the original bassist for the band. Incredible bass player. Such a unique musician and a huge influence on me in my life beyond music. One of the 3 most important men in my life as a man and as a musician, David Hungate. And so we did sessions for years together, and he had talked to the guys about me over the years, but there was nothing to it really. There was nothing going on. But as a result of that, the guys were inducted into the Musicians Hall of Fame in Nashville around 2010. And David suggested to them that I should sit in for Jeff. And so that's how the real connection was made. I had met Luke before that. We were friends, but we never played in anything. And so, one thing leads to the next. And in 2014 is the first time I toured with them. And here we are almost 12 years later. So, hey, from Texas, awesome. Great to see you guys out there. Jeff Porcaro, but as a bassist, I'm very curious if there are any thoughts on Mike's playing. Oh, man, yeah, well, I'm huge Mike Porcaro fan. It's I think Mike's recognition was just only difficult because he was in the shadow of Jeff. It's just so hard to get past that. But what his contribution to the band and his playing as a bass player was world class. I mean, he had a style all of his own. Unfortunately, I met him one time, but not in any depth, just kind of a quick hello. A huge fan of Mike's bass playing. I think he's one of the best. So yeah, and his parts on those records are amazing. I really loved his bass parts on Can You Hear What I'm Saying? That stuff. He just was always what he would say, from what the guys tell me, he's always a groove, And so, yeah, let's see what else we got in here. Tips, insights for info, health, and sanity on the road. Well, balancing hang, networking, rest, health, etc. Well, I will say this: the hang is key. And but it's no different, really. You know, you got to be a social musician. You know, you have to make people feel good. They want to play with you. That comes through your playing. That's what draws people together as musicians. That same thing is a part of how we socialize. And so when we're not playing our instruments, that same part of our personality that people like to share through an instrument is also something that we want to make sure we're sharing, socially, and within the business, and just kind of making your way to broadening your reach to more and more musicians. It is important to get out when you're on the road. I don't do it a lot, but at least be selective and make an effort to go see local bands, or check in with people in the city that you're in, because you just don't know the paths you're going to cross. And it really is a huge part of building a career is about your social skills. Networking is a tricky word because people think you can just meet people, and it's not that easy or that simple. It's about how you present yourself, and then making sure you're in places where I think there's something authentic about it, the choices you make. You can't just go out hoping you're going to meet someone and make a connection. You want to go out because you want to be where you're going, and also be there with a certain curiosity and allowance for something unexpected to happen. So being social and networking, even though I don't like that word, is very important. It is a community, So there's that. Do you miss culinary adventures? Of course I do, with Lenny Castro. He was just here. He played with John Mayer. I got to meet his friend Jimmy Paxson for the first time, a great drummer. Jimmy's moved to Nashville and is playing with Keith Urban. I took those guys out to my favorite Mexican restaurant here, and they were blown away. So we're foodies. We definitely miss the hang, and the food hang. That's a big one out there on the road. Yeah, that's right, Christian Crone, also on Animal. Some drummers leave the stick over the hoop when they make rim shots. What do you think about that? Leave it over. I'm not exactly sure what you mean, but I just, I kind of watched how Jeff did it. I don't stay on the head. Just depends on how hard I'm hitting. I'm like 95% of the time playing rim shots, so it's just second nature to me. I don't think so much about it. But shout out from Philadelphia. When are you moving to Gretsch? Okay, let's get that straight. So these drums, I get to be lazy sometimes. So these Gretsch drums that are down here are a set that I had handmade in 96, 95. And they're fantastic. I had them down because I'm doing some sampling for VST and sound replacement stuff of these drums that I played on so many records. But to be completely clear, we're going to go through this. I had 9 Gretsch kits at one point. I'm a Gretsch guy, in that tone. That was what, was what I was about. My Maple Gum Pearl, this black kit I have on the shelf, what I had on the road, they're just better. I can put them, when I first got them, I put a couple of the Gretsch drums in with my Pearl drums and record, and had guys play, and you can't distinguish the difference. It's just the Pearl stuff's easier to tune. They're not so temperamental. Even my kit, as good as it is, it can be a bit janky to deal with sometimes. So no, I'm Pearl, and as long as they don't stop making those Maple Gum drums, I'm not going anywhere, because this black kit that I have up on the shelf here is the best set of drums I've ever owned. The best set of drums I've ever owned. And, I could have whatever I want. I could play whatever I want. I bought drums through the years. So I'll go through that kit in another video when I get them back down. It's kind of hard to get things in and out, and I was out on the road, finished up sampling this kit the way that it was. I've had a few things to do, so I just haven't had the time between cleaning, fixing stuff around my studio, to switch the drums back out. But they're getting switched back out for sure. And yes, no slight to anyone who loves Gretsch drums, but I'm telling you right now, a modern Pearl drum is a better Gretsch drum than a current Gretsch drum is, and I'll put my money on where my mouth is with that. There's no question about it. I play this black kit. If I had to just keep one kit, that's my kit I got in 2018, that'd be the one set of drums I keep no matter what, right? And I got 2 Gretsch kits left that I kept. The one that I spent so many years in the studio with, and an 81 kit that I have a bunch of different sizes for. So that being aside, you know, we all get opinionated and attached to things. But obviously you see my studio, extensive recording. When Pearl gave me this first prototype that I had of these drums, I wouldn't give them back because I was afraid they were going to fuck it up, you know. So they're like a blonde sort of unfinished kit that I have up on the shelf. And then I got my black kit that I played on the 40 Tours trip with the DVD with Toto. That kit's about 7 years old now, and it's just fantastic. And the kit that I have on the road right now is the same thing, spec for spec, a little bit different finish, but the same thing. Like these drums, when they're lacquered like that, they loosen up a little bit the more you play them. So they're great right out of the box, but they just keep getting better. So that's my take. Let's see. Hey, Lester. Hey, man. Awesome to have you in here. Thank you so much. I've got this Ludwig kit over here next to me I was going to do a little work on because I'm going to sample that kit too. I've just been doing a bunch of that, getting prepared to release a bunch of my stuff. Because, hey, look, we're all out here doing 10 different things now as musicians. There's not, you know, I've got producing, mixing, recording dates, touring. You know, it's like it's a hustle to keep everything moving. And I'm always trying to find ways to pay ahead of myself so that I can spend time making the music that I want. So when I'm hustling all these other things, there's still this huge space that I want to maintain for myself with music and the music I want to create. So that's all that, man. Lester, you're a monster, man. So if anybody doesn't realize, Lester Estella's in this chat here. He's a motherfucker. So yeah. Yeah, that's right. I did. Please, a silly question. Do you chew gum? Okay, yeah. A lot of people ask me about that one. So, you know, since there's a handful of us here, I'll dispel what that is. I used to grip my teeth so bad when I played that I got TMJ, like merciless, agonizing pain in my jaw. And so the fix for me was my jaw. I don't do that anymore. And it's sort of just hanging loose. But because it's hanging loose, every time I'm moving, every time I'm impacting something, my jaw is kind of slapping around. So people think I'm talking, they think I'm chewing gum, think I'm counting, whatever that is. It's just, it's, you know, maybe I wouldn't want to play. They told me I could play with like a mouthpiece or something. But yeah, I just wore my jaw out. So much pain from gritting my teeth when I played, which is no good. It was just a bad habit. So now what you see is a reaction to that. So let me see. You ever played with Leland Sklar? Well, yeah, Johnny, yes, it did. I love Leland dearly, deeply. One of my favorite musicians of all time. There's a video somewhere on my YouTube channel where I break down this Mike McDonald record that I produced with Mike and recorded here, and Lee's the bass player on it, and Lee made such a significant contribution to that track. It's in my videos here on the channel if you want to go look for that. It's all soloed up. I bring the track up and you kind of hear Lee's part. We also did a tour. We did a year together with Toto, which was sweet, you know, some cherished thing. And for me, and you know, I miss him dearly. We talk from time to time. You know, we're talking about Mount Everest people at this point. So yeah, I love Leland. He's an amazing person. So yeah, let me see if there's some other questions that I missed. Grow up listening to music. Your father, Otis, yeah, produced. Oh yes, for George, yeah, the Ukrainian gospel singers, yeah. That's very cool. Yeah, I thank you for that. My dad, I mentioned some influences on me. My dad was the biggest, you know, as a man and as a musician. I was so lucky to grow up the way that I did with him. My childhood was like a fantasy. You know, I grew up in the studio. I was laying out of school and going to work with my dad and hanging out with adults, and it was a beautiful thing. Let's see. See, you get a chance to share a story from the Brady Drums and touring with the Dukes of September. Uh, yeah, Dukes of September was great. I'm still proud to be considered a touring member. I don't know if anything else will ever happen with the band, but what stands out to me, I was lucky to spend a lot of time with Mike McDonald, and then with Boz in the studio, and then when you bring Donald Fagen into it, it's just a really special situation. And I guess what I felt like, I feel like Donald and I got along really well. I loved every second of playing with him, playing that music and playing with that band and those musicians and singers. I got to be really great friends with the Linharts, Michael Linhart and Carolyn, and it just feels like what was really great about that was my kit's here and Donald Fagen is right there, and we have direct eye contact, maybe 15 feet apart or something. So just interacting with him while we're playing music was really a special thing, and you definitely had a sense that there were some serious ears on that stage checking out, listening all the time. So it was great. I had hoped there would be more of it. There was talk that there would be at the time, and here we are almost 14 years later. But it was a great one. Let's see. Curious, what is the general length of time that elapses from the last show of a tour to when you get your... So my drums, they don't come home. I guess, with Toto, Toto is Joseph and Luke, but basically, the band is what it is. So we're kind of in the band with those guys, not contractually or anything like that. So my drums, I have a set of drums, and it just lives with all the Toto equipment. So it's in LA at a storage facility, waiting to go out the next time. So that's where the gear is. How to make a left hand more relaxed. And let's see, how do I get rid of that hard thing? In the shuffle groove. Well, you talking about like a double shuffle, or like the Rosanna? That's a good. You know what I'll do? Everything about that kind of playing, if you're talking, that like Jeff's, I watched, you got to watch these guys play, watch their hands, watch your own hands, and just look for the differences, just kind of look at the grip. Now with YouTube, there's so much explanation, so many videos. I watched James Gatson, who Jeff watched, like basically, so for developing that relaxed left hand, it's just time, I guess. But the minute that you start to understand what you're trying to achieve, I think you start working the problem out, So I never really thought about it, but you can just sit on your knee. I don't really use a practice pad so much, but making it feel consistent at a certain volume. Like maybe that's a good way to think about it. Play it on a pad or something, or play it on a throne. I warm up a lot of times backstage on an arm of a sofa, like a cushion on a sofa arm, if it's not too hard and not too soft, and just make the sticks sound like music. You know what I mean? Like make them feel like that, and that's, take that stick approach that you find there, and move it over to the drums. Maybe it's not quite as easy to do it straight out on the drums because the playing surface it responds differently. But the way I approach playing is like the stick is doing what I want it to do. It's making that's making the sound that I want it to make. It's creating the dynamics and the relaxed feel of those hand-to-hand things, regardless of whatever surface. If I go over and I play it on this metal Wurlitzer top, I'm going to adjust the way I play to make those notes make the same sound. So it's mostly, I think it starts with understanding what you want to hear, and then finding whatever surface that you can make the sound, hear it the way you want it to hear. So maybe I would play the hi-hat and the ghost notes in between, because you're not having to switch into the heavy backbeat stuff. Just play that, play the ghost notes, and just get to where you can loosen that up. That would be one recommendation. So let's see. What's your favorite Toto song to play? I get asked that a lot. It's all, all the stuff Jeff played for any drummer. It's a groove, it's more like moments, I guess. One thing I enjoy on every night is when we're going into these long solo sections. It's never the same, really, and so the dynamic arc and intensity of following Lukather and Phillinganes and leading and that little balancing and dance that we do, that's what I maybe in a certain way I'm looking forward to. Playing the songs, every one of those songs is a joy to play, for any drummer. So, I used to really like playing Jake to the Bone, just because, it's got a lot of movements in it. I used to love playing Lion, but that's, it's just things about the song, not always about the drum part. So, yeah. And you're welcome. Let me look up through here if there's anything I'm missing. Do you try to maintain hobbies outside of music? That's... that for sure. I like, I'm into sports. I got three grown men, three sons, 30, 27, and 20. Love to play basketball and throw the football with them. In the last 5, 6, 7 years, I've gotten really passionate about old cars. I have a 66 Chevelle, and I've learned to take engines apart and rebuild them, and so, I love my old car. That's probably my favorite one these days. Love sports. I like to fish also. It's just hard to find time for all these things because I got my studio here. But yeah, right now, these days, what I take a little time for is working on my old car. And I also like to cook. I really enjoy cooking. Thank you so much, C. Payne. What's your favorite Simon song to play? Simon song to play. We only did this one for a minute, but I just liked the song. I always liked the song "Caught in the Balance." I like that one off. I forget which record that's off. It's after Tamboo. And then we played. There was a 6/8 one that we played. That was fun to play. There's talk of playing some high energy ones. I'm hoping that one comes around for this next tour. Simon's compositions are great, and we played I Will Remember, of course, is a real emotional tune that's fun to play. Greetings from Iowa. Sauce was 2016, right on, with Leland. Yeah, Bottom of Your Soul, that's right. Yeah, that's the one. See if I'm missing anybody's question here. Let's see where we're at. Now, if you guys want to hear anything, I can change this thing around and try some other stuff. We can go to the control room. What I was gonna do, if you guys are not hip to this, I'll show you. We got 35, so we got a couple new folks in. What's up? This is my vocal booth here, but everything kind of becomes a bit of extra storage space. So this is all about taking questions. C-Pain, in your opinion, what's an underrated Porcaro drum track? I nominate Then She Walked Away. Oh, yeah. I mean, you know, for me, 1,000 Years is the nuance of that feel that he creates is one of my favorites, you know? I mean, you can get into the complex things that he played. There's so many. Yeah, Then She Walked Away is such a great kind of hand-to-hand pattern. I love them all so much. I loved that groove he plays on the, you know, like Animal and Waiting for Your Love and stuff like that. I love the way he played that groove, but I love the way he played all of it. So, you know, in Nashville, is it pretty common for all of the drum parts to be sound replaced? Well, you know, I was just in my studio here because I'm getting ready to get back to work on some projects. And so I take a listen because I mix my own stuff and I have that side of what I do. And I mean, without just going on a rant, yeah, it's junk, you know, like what you hear coming out of Nashville, you can't believe a note of it. Like I don't know where you would look to find something where what you're hearing is actually what was played. It's why I quit playing sessions down there. I quit playing sessions down there, but for that reason. It became some ubiquitous, some guy with an editor who can't even, you know, play one measure of time on any instrument, going in and just, you know, quantizing things. And then bad engineers that can't record drums, sound replacing them. If you go through my discography of my years in Nashville as a session musician, my drums never got replaced. You know, even like CLA would mix stuff that I played on, and he might, if he did use a sample, some of those mix guys do that, but he would take a sample of what I played. You know what I mean? So, yeah, Nashville, I don't have, there's no love lost for me for what it's doing now. It's fine. I walked away from that starting in 2010, so there's no grudge about it. I just think it's pretty sad, you know. There's just nothing left about it that's the way it was. And I was never a huge country fan anyway. I just respect all forms of music, and that was what the session scene was mostly comprised of here. And the musicians that I wanted to play with were playing in those rooms, playing country sessions like Michael Rhodes and Brent Mason, Paul Franklin, guys like that. So yeah, that was what drove me. I wanted to play sessions. The idea of playing sessions was, you know, you would get good enough that you could get in the room with those players, and then get a chance to make a recording, and that recording was going to be part of your voice. You know, that artist's recording. Well, you know, that's you too. You know, that was me playing that. Like if somebody's talking about Josh Turner, and yeah, that's me playing. You know what I mean? No, those weren't tinkered with. I mean, I can tell you the honest truth. You know, like we wouldn't always have a lot of time on sessions to, you know, like the Mike McDonald record I produced. If you want to go check that out, that was cut all to tape. There's not one punch in or edit on the drums on the entire album. And there's layers of programming sometimes that was unquantized, or another layer of me playing drums on top of myself. Nothing moved, right? You know, what I got when I was playing sessions, and there's a guy named Brian David Willis, who was a great drummer, also became an editor here, did a lot of work. And initially, he came to me one time and said, "Hey, you know, it's great having you on these dates. I only have to move like one or two things, you know," and that's in a whole song, you know what I mean? And that's saying there's one backbeat that he might move or something in a 4-minute piece. But what's interlaced in there is like, well, I was never trying to just slam things down to the click. I'm trying to make the click work and the band work. So if we were to work at it a different way, that one or two things, I wouldn't leave one or two things that even needed to be moved. Hence, go listen to the Mike McDonald record. That's exactly how I play. No punches, no edits, no nothing. So yeah, there's that. I don't mean to go on such a long rant there. Oh, thanks. The Lady A album was cool. There's actually, yeah, CLA did some interesting stuff. There's one song I can't remember, but he did this kind of a mid-tempo thing, and he did something really cool to the snare, the bottom side mic or something. It was really, really creative what he did. So yeah, living in Mobile, Alabama, do you remember playing on a Big Daddy Weave album that never got released? Dang, wow, yeah, I guess so. That's a blast from the past. Toto fans think you're playing is, oh, well, hey, Paul, thank you for that. You know, you don't try to play like another player, but obviously we're influenced, and some of us are more similar in certain things about our nature and personality. It comes out a little closer as a drummer. Carlos. There's some guys, James Gadsden, and there's sort of a gene pool, if you will, of drummers that have a certain kind of feel and groove. And I'd like to think that it's been my aspiration to be a part of that. And then when you throw me in there and I'm playing Jeff's songs, then it gets really close because now the context is really close. So I appreciate that. It means a lot to me because Jeff's my favorite musician. So yeah, let's see. Yeah, that's right. Let's see. Do you have a favorite session bass player you worked with in Nashville? Yeah, there's a few. For like I say, David Hungate, but he's not really a Nashville bass player. He's just in Nashville. Glenn Worf. I mean, there's guys that I don't want anybody's feelings getting hurt leaving someone out. I've done a lot of work with a guy named Craig Young, and there's something unique about him where we're very kindred in a certain way. I feel like if we swapped instruments, we'd play them the same way. So I've done a lot of stuff with Craig. He was recently out with Post Malone, played on a ton of records, all kinds of stuff. I mean, Glenn Worf, Michael Rhodes, Jimmy Lee Sloas, Gary Lund. I mean, there's a long list, but yeah, that's Craig Young is way up there. Is Toto on a tour in Japan? Yeah, we're going to come to Japan, Yuki. I think there's nothing official yet, but I know that it's being talked about. I don't think it's going to be 26. So, but yeah, I've heard that. Let's see where are we at. If I'm missing something here, I was going to get into some technical stuff, but that can wait. Luca, yeah, Lucas said no live recording will happen. Yeah, this is. Yeah. So, yeah, what I was going to start out to do, I've got this. This is basically a mid-60s Ludwig kit that a great drum builder named Sam Bacco, who built my Gretsch kit that we were talking about. And I'll grab one of those drums so you can see it. I'll grab the 10. But yeah, basically, this is the 10-inch drum from a set that I had made when my career was really, getting busy, And what it is like a 95 Gretsch kit. I had them send me unfinished shells with no edges on them. I had them spray the Permatone, send me all the hardware unassembled, and then I took them to Sam Bacco. The reason I bring it up is he restored these drums. Incredible percussionist and musician and amazing drum builder. He did the finish. I don't think they might have been drilled. I don't recall, but yeah, I did the edges, and I played this kit on probably 1,000 albums. I can't, I'll never get rid of these drums because they have such sentimental value. They're sort of basically about as fine of an example of a Gretsch kit as you'll ever find, and I spent so much time with them. So that's them. They're sort of a this kind of like the walnut finish, but my friend Jimmy Paxson noticed they do have a tint of purple to them. And Sam did do that. He had a marimba that he was working on at the time that was made out of rosewood and had this purple hue to it. So they have just a taste of a purple hue to that walnut. They're beautiful, I think. And, they're special to me because I spent so many years behind these drums, And so, yeah, see if we got any more questions. And see, can you share any tips, techniques, how your father Otis produced, recorded? He was such a legend. Oh, thank you for all that, You know what my dad really, hey, Singapore, what's up? You talk Boone's Farm. I think it's not good to be recorded. That's funny. Yeah, my dad, one thing I can say about him that I saw is he always gave people more than they were paying for. He worked so hard for every artist that came through there to him at his studio, and he was such a great arranger, had such a brilliant mind for harmony and arrangement, and had a great feel as a piano player. And I miss him terribly. I wish that he could have been realized in a bigger way for his talent, because I heard him do things that no one else got a chance to hear him do, play different kinds of music, and and I got to do that with him some, and he never really got to have the spotlight on that for him, and he deserved it. So yeah. It would be nice, but the nice thing is everyone that ever mentions him speaks of him in the same way. So thank you for mentioning that. What head combinations do you tend to use? Yeah, Aaron, I use single ply, ambassadors. There's no real. I haven't taken clear ambassadors out on my toms for a while now. No real reason, I guess. I like them just as well. I tend to end up on coated ambassadors and then clear on the bottoms. And it just depends. I'll either use a coated ambassador on the bass drum batter side or a coated power stroke. Just depends on the drum and how I'm setting it up. I tend not to like those over-engineered heads. I like to take a single ply head and then dampen it or do what I need to do to it in a way that I can control. But the Power Stroke 3 coated works for me. And also when Jay Weinberg came out here and did some recording, he played my Pearl bass drums, which are basically those maple gums, 14x22s, and he used clear Power Strokes, and they sounded ridiculous. So I left one of them. My natural maple gum bass drum is still set up that way. Let's see. How many times you watched Toto live from which? Paris. That's the education. Yeah. That one. That video right there that you're talking about. When I was a kid, I never got to see Jeff Porcaro play live. Never got to see Toto live. When I was 18, Laserdisc was the technology. And I had a friend who was a bit older than me, was starting to work and make a little money. And we used to have to get stuff imported. So they would release a Toto record somewhere, and it would be, you could order it in through Tower Records or something, but you'd have to have it imported. And he imported the DVD, the Laserdisc of that Live in Paris, and I wore that out. I actually, as soon as I had enough money, I bought my own sound system at home and a Laserdisc player just to be able to watch that and watch Jeff play. And then right about the same time, I got the one with Vinny and Sting on Tin Summoner's Tales. So yeah. Thank you, Logan. Man, that's great. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, so just keep the questions coming. I'm going to put these I'm going to put these mounting systems on. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do that off camera. Maybe I'm going to, while I got you guys here, there's a handful of you here. Do I use metal or wood snares for Toto's show? It goes back and forth, okay? And I got a great tech, Larry Crow, and he happens to also be a ridiculous drummer. You know, Larry is an amazing drummer and a great sense for the instrument. And so when we go out, Larry likes to change things up, you know. Like I say, I can be a bit of a creature of habit, and Larry will look into the catalog and see what's new from Pearl and maybe check things out that I wasn't paying attention to. So I've played both. At the beginning of this last year, the first half of the year with Toto, I was playing a maple gum snare that sounded great. When we went back out in the summer, Larry was like, "Hey man, you want to try this reference brass out?" And I'm like, "Sure, you know, have them send one out." And Pearl's so great; they always take care of me. I didn't realize the Pearl brass drum that we've been playing was a bell brass, the same 3mm, style bell brass shell, and it's stupid good. So the last tour, I was playing that. Let's see, do I tune by ear or use a bot? No, all my tuning is by ear and really by hand, you know. And here's the thing, okay? Just keep your eye out for this. I'm going to be making, but I'm not going to host it here. I'm going to be releasing a drum tuning video. It goes totally in depth of all my studio tricks, how I tune drums in general, and then how I dampen and do things to the drums to tailor them to certain styles of music and what those choices look like. And I'm going to be very comprehensive. I'm going to do audio examples where you can hear the relationship change in the bottom to top heads, because there's sort of a misconception about what that is. I'm going to show you in really great detail exactly how I tune my drums in a way that I think that you'll be able to access. A lot of it is about using your hands for feel and understanding what the tension rod is showing you, and getting balanced that way, and not cracking a head in and tightening the shit out of it and backing it. None of that voodoo stuff. I do it a different way, and I'm going to make a complete instructional video that'll be available of that. Also, if you're jumping in here late, I've got a video that's going to hopefully release on Sunday. That's a complete dive behind the scenes with me recording drums on a track. You're gonna, in the video, you'll hear me hear the song for the first time, take a chart on it, go out to the drums, get a pass, make revisions, talk about the signal path, talk about tones, all these things. It's almost 2 hours long, super in depth, in a total look into the way that I approach creating parts for a song, and it's proportional. Whatever this particular song is, it's the same concept no matter what I'm working on. So I think you'll really enjoy it. Hey Chris, man. So all day long, I've had Chris here with me. We've spent a lot of time the last couple of weeks. Chris McHugh, unbelievable drummer, and one of my dearest and best of friends. So he's in here. I got this mic, man. I spent all day getting this all wired back up. And so I was about to make my way back into the control room and show you guys a little bit of that side of the glass, play a little something back. You guys are my guinea pigs for level checking. And well, now we're getting more people in than we had. So I don't know. But yeah, I can always come back out here. I'll see you in the control room. We'll continue with the questions there. And yeah. Do I still have my Brady kits? Aaron, my Brady kits are with collectors now, right? I didn't feel good about leaving them on a shelf, not getting played. So I know exactly where they are. I kind of have this understanding of first right of refusal, but I think they're just going to stay where they are, in good hands, being well kept. And like I say, this current stuff that Pearl has made, I'm kind of done. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to reinvent the wheel. This black kit that I have up on the shelf is for me the best set of drums I've ever owned. And God, I don't need anything else. I mean, with tea towels and different things, I can get anything out of that drum set that I need. So yeah, I'm gonna jump in the control room and see. Hey, Monica. So just waking up over there, right? So yeah, I can come back out this way, but you know, I can hang on here for a while. It's good to be checking this out. So yeah, I'm gonna play a little audio back for you guys from the control room, and we're gonna check our levels. Okay, that's a big part of what I'm gonna do here. So let's see. Now we're back to the control room, and I can see the comments. Hey, you're in Beijing. Wow, Monica. Okay, you're on vacation maybe. Yeah, so now, you know, now we're back to the control room. Let me see here. This cuts when I hit this. So, all right. This is just a little piece of something that I worked on recently. So those of you that are here with me, what we're doing is just kind of a shakedown of my new setup, Audio Technica. Okay, I just want to go through this. They hooked me up with this wireless system, and it is killer. So you got to give me some feedback when I'm about to switch in and out of audio and my lapel mic here. Man, it's dead quiet, no RF. So far, I can't tell that there's any interaction with the material, clothing. So this is kind of me getting prepared to start bringing you guys into the studio more consistently with me and releasing some more content. So there's going to be something interesting coming with this Ludwig kit that I was going to work on. I also, you know, you guys are all around the world, so I'm going to stay on here indefinitely, because the way I approached this live concept, because I was working on it with a project a couple years ago, was just leaving it on. So I'm not trying to, you know, just pull anybody in at a specific time. It's more like, you know, sometimes you can expect to come on here and just see me at work, you know, what I'm doing in a given day, and then I'll check out, you know, comments and questions and things when I can, but it's just kind of giving you a look inside kind of what I do here, right? So, okay, so watch your, thanks, Chris. So check it, check this out for a little bit of audio balance to vocal. I checked it out earlier, I think it was okay, but so if you guys are watching this at this level, hopefully this track doesn't ding you too loud, okay? I don't think it will. Let's see, let's go down here. Okay, so that's working. Thanks, Chris. Thanks for the feedback. So yeah, this mic is a game changer for doing this because I was having to work it another way. The only thing I'll have to figure out is when I go out to, hey, Eric, hey man. So you guys in the chat room here, uh, we got a bad man here with us, Eric Escobar. Uh, he's an unbelievable keyboard player. So yeah, uh, I'm a big fan of his, and he's a sweet, sweet, wonderful human being. So, oh, thank you, Chris, for the good word. Uh, so yeah, anything else you guys want to check out? That's um, that's what this is about. So what do we got? So was that cut to tape? No, Aaron, that wasn't. The thing about tape, it's funny. It doesn't take any more time to work that way for me. Actually, I work more efficiently with tape because I'm I'm making choices. I'll keep a musician in the chair a little bit longer if I need to get something. We'll just take one extra listen down, and this is the way things. Chris can tell you, this is. It used to go drum track. Okay, that's a great take. All right, let's listen down one time with drums and bass, and you just kind of do a scope and listen if there's anything in between the bass that needs to be fixed to the drums or whatever, and then the guitars, and then and you go down that way. And that didn't take that long. I mean, if at the end of a session we took 2 hours to do that, or even 3 or 5, what you were finished with was you had a performance. You had something that was living and breathing, but it was also technically accurate enough. And then you moved on. And you never had to look at this fucking file again. I don't like looking at a waveform. I don't like listening to something and going, that one little guitar thing is sticking out, 20 milliseconds there, whatever. I don't want to be able to consider that, you know what I mean? But when I'm working with Pro Tools and I hear that ability to just keep doing this, it's just part of how you work. So I've had to work really hard to turn that off when I'm working. And I'll give you guys a great example. So if somebody was asking about that, I'll show you this this gentleman for this that we were playing for. This is a perfect case in point with tape, and so I could not have worked with this guy on tape and done what I did. This tune is really great, cool, fun thing. This guy was a really good musician, really solid musician. He had made another choice with his career path. And this was kind of him coming back around and wanting to record a few of his songs, as kind of like a time capsule for himself. Now, he could play great. He's got good hands, and but he's not a professional musician. And so I spent one day where he came in with acoustic guitar, and I would take something like this, Okay, so for those of you guys checking that out, we're kind of talking about different ways to work, and somebody had asked me earlier about quantizing and fixing things. So the way I approach things is this guy has a great feel, right? Can't play with a click track because he never did, you know what I mean? So you got a guy coming in the studio for the first time, really, to lay this down. Well, the beauty of Pro Tools is I can spend one day with him and I'm listening as he's playing, you know, and I get him to play the song down a few times, or however I have to, like maybe sometimes I would have him play the same chord over and over for more bars than he would, and then I would kind of take those pieces and then lay them out uh, as the progression and the song. But in doing it that way, it's still the way he plays. You know what I mean? And we're just making up for a life of work as a recording musician that he didn't have the opportunity to do. I mean, the guy has enough real talent. You can hear that's his composition. You know what I mean? That's a remarkable thing he's doing there. And Pro Tools in that regard gave me the ability to pull that performance out of him. You know, to get something that could document. And it's not by, you know what I mean, it's not like nailed down perfect. It's like within itself, it feels like the way he plays. That became the map, and then we all played to that. You know what I mean? So I played drums to that. But you know, the other side of that too was that you know, I couldn't hire a session player to play that the way he played it. That's his composition. So there's a little dissertation on that, right? So yeah, so we got some more questions here. What do we got? Hello from France. Hey Phil, how's it going? Toto, May, and Charlotte, big fan. Yeah, thank you. Oh, well, thank you, Daniel. I appreciate that. I do appreciate that. And thanks, yeah, the sounds. Well, you know, thank you for that. That was an interesting one. I'll show you something for you guys that are, hey, John Carroll. Hey. So, yeah, I'll play a bit of that acoustic guitar again, and I'll show you, because here's the thing about it, too. This gentleman was just a beautiful sweetheart of a guy, and as soon as he's comfortable with the release, I'll let you guys know what this was, because I like this track. I like what we did for him. I'm proud of what we were able to do. I'll show you kind of the guitar, because you know, he didn't even have a real assortment of instruments so to work with. You know, he borrowed a couple of guitars, and I'll show you what I'm doing to process them. So here's unprocessed. So it's a little bright. It was my M71. It's a tube Neumann, and API, and then an LA3, Yuri LA3. I like that for acoustic guitar. And then the processing. The first thing you'll see me kick in is a little EQ, and then which is controlling the top end a little bit, and then the desk. You'll hear some desk compression. So there you go. There's that. Yeah, I mean, it does, right, John? You know, that's what I mean. It's like, it's such a great thing about the you know, what you run into, and sometimes, you know, the way that we're all having to kind of search for work, and you know, man, you know, this guy comes in, and we were able to bring that out of him. You know what I mean? That it does have that. You know what I mean? It does have that Robert Johnson kind of thing about it. You know? So yeah, the SSL G, it's an E with G plus wiring mods and center section mods, and basically they did all the oxygen free cable, the preamp mod, so it's kind of like the best of an E and a G plus. That's what it is. So yeah. Hey Robert, right. So right on, man. So I guess it got late enough on a Friday night for people to not have better things to do. Yeah. So let's see. Let me see. Anything else there? But yeah, I mean, that's the deal. Since there's so many folks here right now, do you prioritize your board equipment over outboard? Uh, it's not really prioritized. It's laziness a lot of times, because my total recall works, and if I'm tracking things, and you know, I've directed my energy in different places. There was a minute where I was really chasing down mixing and doing different things in here, and then I kind of took a left turn from that, and I feel like I've continued to at least get a better understanding of all this stuff as the years have added up. But you know, what if I'm working on my own project at my own pace, then basically by the time I'm mixing, I'm not there's not a lot to be done on the board. I'm getting those sounds through that gear, you know, on the way in, and then and there's not a whole lot left to be done. If it's a project that I'm doing, it's not unusual for the mix to only have, on a 40 channel mix, only have about, you know, 6 or 8 EQs engaged and stuff like that. Especially if I'm able to work with tape, for me, it just makes me sound better. You know, it fixes things for me that is harder for me to find with a knob, you know. So there's that. Yep. Yeah. I do love, yeah, post gig, Robert. Where are you, man? Are you in town, or are you out somewhere? There's a good 10 or 15 second delay here, I think, just so everyone knows. One thing I do need to do is vacuum this board. It's dusty. And then I also have maintenance things to get to. But yeah, so here's the thing. You guys leave me comments and stuff like that for what you I forget the mic is here, for what you want to see out of here. And then in general, I'm just going to turn the live stream on from time to time whenever I'm working, throw up new content, you know, with more consistency. I always say that, and then I don't, but I mean it. There's more coming. So let's see. Home now. Okay, right on. Right on. Robert. Well, we got to get together. We got to catch up. Yeah. So, you know, we can do things at the drums. I thank you guys for all showing up here to suss out sort of the tech. You know, my levels are all set. So now that I'm back in the saddle with this, I can easily pop in here. One thing we got to do, Chris McHugh, if he's still in here, we'll get a drum hang together, right? So we'll do something out of here together, and I think it'd be cool to do it as a live thing. It's probably easier to do for you guys as a live, to give you some heads up. I just went live today for the first time in years, you know. So we you know, maybe we can get something more organized and schedule it, and see what we can get for some feedback. You know, get some good Q&A going, and yeah. So let's see. Dan Age and I were just talking the other about how tracking to tape changes. Oh yeah, it totally does. Yep, that's right. That's right. Exactly. So, you know, I'll probably do a whole rant on these different things. I've got a rant about putting tape and shit all over your drums coming soon. I mean, essentially, I'll give you the brief breakdown of what's coming. We, if you reduce the possibilities, the randomness, of everything down to nothing, then nothing can identify itself. So it's kind of what you said, Robert. It becomes paradoxical, antithetical. You can't. So if the standard of what people consider, because I don't understand this either. I was just listening with Chris to a bunch of tunes the other day off iTunes. I'm going, I mean, I think we understand what's happening. Chris and I were talking that things sound a particular way that's peculiar to me, where there's no transients on anything, and it's like, well, you kind of the vocals, the artists themselves, the singers are so limited in their instruments that you can't do too many things dynamic around them, or you can't. They can't. No matter how loud you would turn that up, you can't hear it. You know what I mean? Like, and then we listen to one thing with a great vocalist with an instrument, and it's a little bit buried or down in the mix, but you never lose it. So I think there's just we're kind of going toward the lowest common denominator, and the tricky thing is if you deaden your drums and take all that shit out, there's a whole bunch of expression and nuance that speaks through the din of all the rest of the instruments and the speakers and whatever, and you become innocuous and you can't differentiate one thing from the next. And I'll go into greater detail about that on another episode here. What do you use as mics and outboard equipment for room sound? Okay, real quick, might as well. Okay, there's two things. My room is like I was saying earlier. I was learning along the way. I'm not going to say I got lucky, because I knew when to stop, and when I, luck would, maybe I wouldn't have stopped when I did, So I knew what I was listening for. Here's the far room mics, which yeah, okay, thanks for that. See, yeah, okay, that's a good idiot's check. Okay, I know we can't do that. All right, so you heard the room mic for a minute there. Those are CMV. The stereo stuff is CMV 563s. Omni capsules. It's you would have heard them on in utero. I can't remember the Nirvana record. Anyway, that's one more time. That's this. So now I should be back, right? My talk back is yeah, you got me now. Okay, so there's that. And then the other thing is yeah, we got this wired a little bit different way. So that was what this was for, is to figure out what does and doesn't work. It can't solo inside Pro Tools or it'll kill that, kills this mic. The mono room mic is a huge part of it. It's a Neumann M582 with an M58 capsule. Ray Kennedy turned me onto this microphone, and it's remarkable. Now you're going to hear it. I always use a little expander on it to shape the length of it, you know. So yeah. So Tim, the mono, I'm going to turn off the expander. I'm going to turn off the expander, and it's also getting this ADR. It's the ADR vocal stressor, which has an EQ section and a dynamics section. And the dynamics section is the same limiter that Zeppelin had on When the Levee Breaks. It doesn't look the same, but that's the gear. So that thing absolutely makes a sound. My bass drum, I used this is a Brendan O'Brien thing. When I was working at Southern Tracks, his assistant engineer turned me onto this. I've seen other guys use that EQ for bass drum. It's again, it's the ADR vocal stressor. They make a 2-channel EQ. I don't know what it's called, but it's the same EQ. But it's remarkable bass EQ for a bass drum. But okay, I'm going to play you that mono room mic. I've just got a little bit of high pass filter on it, so there's even more low end in it than you think. And then I'm going to turn the expander off, and I'll play you a little bit of that. So that is that's that mono room mic, and you can see it's pretty ridiculous. So that, and when you build that, I'll turn the dynamics back on. You hear that mono room mic one more time. The mic is out about 5 feet in front of the kit, at about the bass drum level. And so it's pointing at the bass drum kind of on an angle across through the kick and snare. And then, yeah, here it is with a little bit of high pass and then that expander. So there you go. That's that. Okay. I guess given the time here, I'm going to jump off. But hit your alerts on the channel and stuff. I'm going to be posting some things coming up. You never know when I'm going to go live. I think it's probably makes good sense to send some kind of notification out. But thank you for helping me beta test the new tech stuff. Thanks for showing up, and message me, Instagram. You know, if there's things that you want to discuss on here, stuff you want to see, let me know. Keep an eye out for that video release. My website is up. If you're an artist out there, you know, hit my my contact form on my website. I'm open to all things, you know, drum tracks if you're an artist just looking for that, if it's everything from that to full production to artist development, it's all there. Check out the website. This is The Space, and thanks for tuning in. All right, see you next time.